Here we go.
When asked about woke content in Assassin's Creed Shadows and whether he supports Stop Killing Games. Oh my god.
Hello, Mr. Guillemot.
Cook him!
Boris Ghetto. I'm a recent shareholder, but I'm a long-standing user of Ubisoft wares. I have a couple of questions. First of all, regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows. There's been a lot of controversy regarding that game. How do you respond? Ubisoft has been accused and criticized for this wokest trend. I mean, this is happening in 16th century medieval Japan, and the main character is an African samurai.
Apparently, the African samurai from Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm so sorry, apparently was made up by a guy who made an article, and come to find out the article was completely fake. And they knew this before they even finished the game.
That's a bold choice by Ubisoft, and in the story he falls in love. That's one of the
getting called out immediately.
Possibilities of the game. He gets to fall in love with a transgender character. So, woke or no woke? How do you explain Ubisoft's deteriorating?
Is there a transgender character in Assassin's Creed Black Shadows? Is that real? Is that a real thing? Transgender character in Assassin's Creed Black Shadows. Oh my god, there fucking is. Are you fucking kidding me? There is a transgender character in Assassin's Creed Black Shadows that you could have a love interest with.
Reputation.
You forgot the other one where he can.
Bro, there's no way. Not in that era. Dude, they would have killed him. There's no way.
Also fall in love with and have sex with Oda Nobunaga's sister, who was the what do you call it, the ancestor of 16, I believe, Japanese emperors. So there's also that,
which may actually challenge the foundations of your organization. So is that a show of openness on your part, or are you going to backtrack or backpedal on that leftist political agenda?
I love, here's what really gets me, is that whenever you call a game woke for having weird shit in it, their first thing they love to do is bring politics into it. Because they knew for the longest time that the politicians wouldn't have done anything about this. But now that you've got, like, the Stop Killing Games initiative really making waves, so much for using politics as a fallback on.
Is there room for the entertainment world for this kind of stance? Secondly, what about accusations that video games are being killed, and there's this petition?
This woman is based. What the fuck?
With thousands of signatories.
Oh my god.
How do you make sure that games remain playable and accessible even after server support is discontinued? This petition was initiated in
whatever amount of money this lady's getting, she's not making enough.
2024, after Ubisoft announced the end of service support for the crew.
Yeah.
A game bought in 2010, and now in 2024, the service has shut down, and the game can't be played anymore. So do you support that petition?
Yeah, Stop Killing Games.
At the end of the day, when players buy an Ubisoft, when they buy an Ubisoft game, do they own it?
No.
Or is there a chance
they're immediately going to say no? Well, another thing that I love that at least Ubisoft did is that they made a statement saying that having microtransactions in a single-player games gives it more fun. Because, spending more money on a game that I've already spent money on, that's fun, right? That's so fun. So fun. So fun.
They might no longer be able to play the game years later. Thank you for those questions.
He has something to say about that.
Let me start with Assassin's Creed Shadows. There's one thing you need to consider. When you get to play the game, you understand
What happened? What happened?
That the game is full of characters, and the characters actually blend in with the game.
No, they don't.
They don't at all, bro. Bro, they don't at all. You're trying to say... So here's the big problem that a lot of people had with this game. So first and foremost, this game was supposed to be based on history, which it was absolutely not. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but in most places of the world, if you swing like that, if you're, trans or you like, same sex, they usually kill you. There is no padded room for you to go in, and I'm not saying you belong in one. At least not the ones that just want to do it and be silent about it. But the ones that actively do it, like that Lily Tino fucktard, they need to go into a padded room. But in most places in the world, still to this day, it is heavily frowned upon. And for the most part, in some countries, they kill you. Be thankful you are where you're at, that you can sit here and push this agenda in this narrative. Because in most places in the world, it wouldn't fly.
No, they don't at all. What do you mean?
Obviously,
Yeah.
with regard to this particular game, what was our goal? We wanted to showcase characters with heroic journeys. Everybody wants to play a hero's journey. You shift your circumstances.
It's kind of crazy that they made this shit with two characters. But from everything that I've read and understand about the game, I have not played it. I won't because I'm not going to waste money on it. If you play as Yusuke, you're big and clunky, and it sucks to move around with. But if you play as the girl, you die in like 2 hits, and you can move around really well. What the hell were they thinking when they did this? Like, why? Why couldn't it just be the same character? It's so stupid.
my
Become
God.
something more, and it's a very powerful expectation from games. This is a hero quest,
It's over, bro.
and it doesn't just apply
It's
to
over.
Ubisoft or manga series.
It's so
This
over.
is an actual character. This is someone who really existed.
Yeah, but like,
No, it's a fake
the guy-
article. The guy that made the article even came forward and said it was fake.
guy that you used to source, like, didn't the guy get exposed for like making up stuff in his book and then quoting himself on Wikipedia?
Yep.
And he got banned from Wikipedia because he was like fucking making shit up.
Yep.
Like, yeah, our sources are no, my source isn't that I made it the fuck up. My source is that he made it the fuck up. Okay, it's totally different.
That's right.
And showcasing that character has been extremely successful. And that is why
That's why we decided to sell part of the company to Tencent. It's been extremely successful, so we decided to create a offshoot of the company, lay off a bunch of people, and then transfer all the IPs to that offshoot company.
You forgot one. You forgot they also shut down studios, I believe, in Europe and some in America as well.
That's partially owned by Tencent. Yeah, that really shows. Yeah, I bet things are.
Bro, I had somebody in my comments yesterday sitting there trying to correct me on the pirate software situation about me thinking that I still think that he is the one that reported Ross from Stop Killing Games. Trying to sit there and sound like a smart cookie in my comments, and someone got down in the someone else commented, and then they were like, they're trying to sit there and say, well, I don't know, something about it being in a different country. They're like, it's an American company, and I was like, I kind of gave it to him. I was like, I got down in the comments, and I gave him a W, even though I shouldn't have. I should have embarrassed him, but I didn't. I was like, You do realize that most big gaming corporations have branches in every country of the world, right? You must know this, right? And he replied back, yeah, it's probably one of the European ones that did it. And I was like, okay. And then he stopped commenting because I think he realized that he wasn't as smart as he thought he was. So dumb.
Going
dude.
great, buddy. Yeah, that sounds like a winner's proposition to me.
Decided to tell that story. We wanted to tell a different story.
A fake one. The one that didn't happen.
Regarding the petition, we operate in a market, and whenever
We operate in a market.
Yeah, that seems accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
release
about
a
it?
game, we provide a lot of support for
All
that
right.
game. We also provide
Okay.
a lot of services to make sure that the game is accessible.
Well, if that's true, then why did you guys shut down the servers for the older Assassin's Creed games? If that's the case, why'd y'all shut it down? Why doesn't it still have access?
And remains playable 24/7. So we provide information regarding the game and how long
I think that this answer has less content than their games.
Ooh.
And that's really impressive. This is crazy. Like, I honestly, Kamala Harris could learn something from this guy for saying literally fucking nothing in like 3 minutes.
the game
rough.
can be played.
Wow.
That's rough.
And players and buyers are forewarned that eventually the game may be discontinued.
Well,
Now,
why? Why should it be discontinued? Why is it that we're the ones who have to suffer when you guys go out of your way to make a game that could be discontinued at any time? If we need to be warned and okay with the game at some point being taken away or shut down, then maybe you guys should be okay with the fact that maybe that's illegal in some countries at some point. That, you know, if we have to get used to that, if your go-to is, well, then don't buy the game, well, then don't make the game. If you're really that concerned about it and you know things are changing because people that are younger that have dealt with this disgusting malicious behavior are now adults and they're getting into places of power like senators and the whatever the EU has as far as like diplomacy or whatever the fuck. Maybe you guys should be the ones that should be scared because you know the more people that are getting older that are used to these scum tactics like these fucking loot boxes that's clearly gambling. You can fool these old boomers all you want. But there will be a day whenever this will no longer be allowed. And you know that day's coming. It may not be within my lifetime, but it's coming. I promise you.
what happened with this game? There was a €1
Bet your sweet ass we're gonna try. It may not be within my lifetime, but we're gonna make it really well known at the very least.
fee proposed to all buyers of the game. For just €1, they got to buy the next version. €1. It's not a whole lot of money to be able to continue playing a game. And we also announced that the game would be available offline in future so that players could continue to play it.
Yeah.
So this is an issue that we've been dealing with. But this kind of issue is not specific to Ubisoft.
True. It's not.
All video game publishers are faced with that issue. You
Yeah.
provide a service, but
It's nice to flip the table back onto these gaming publishers now, because used to the table we had to come and sit down at their table, but as their malicious behavior kept growing, enforcing more of these, I'm going to call them cell phone game mechanics into these big AAA titles like loot boxes or pay to win scenarios. Well, the more that the table just, you know, the more that we sat down at these tables to the developers, the more we realized that They just got there first. The table's cemented in the ground, and they just got there first, and now we're meeting them halfway. And what they're putting on the table, we're realizing isn't food, it's shit. And you're gonna have some dick eaters that are gonna keep eating shit, and then eventually we're just gonna get tired of it. That's just all there is to it. We're just gonna get tired of eating shit. And in all honesty, I think we're almost there. I think we're just like at this point really tired of eating shit. We're being handed food and being told it's food, but it's just shit. And we can see it. And they know we can see it now. They know. But they're still going to pass it off as food.
Nothing is written in stone, and at some point the service may be discontinued. Nothing is eternal. And we are doing our best to make sure that
nothing is eternal. That's the answer. This is some fucking...
If nothing is eternal, then why don't you reimburse people for the games? Why isn't it like whenever you get a cart at a store where you put the coin in, and then if you return the cart, you get the coin back?
What is this? Is this like Revelations? Oh my god.
Right?
things go well for all players and buyers. Because obviously, support for old games cannot last for...
See, I love that they use this as their viewpoint of like, oh, well, the games can't last forever. Okay. So, if you know that that's the case, then you guys, the governments, need to implement a system of maybe kind of like like how copyright works, where like after 100 years, the you can use the copyright on it, kind of like Disney. Like after a certain amount of time, you just can't get it copywritten anymore. And make it like 50 or 30 years. But at the same time, if you want to open up these crypto style games that are online only, and I call them crypto style because they're just like a cryptocurrency that a YouTuber would like, for example, Logan Paul, how they would launch the crypto, they would promote it, and then they would rug pull it and take all the money. These games function at the same level as a crypto scam. They are marketed and marketed and marketed online only. You pay $40 to get them. This is a good example, Concord. And then whenever it comes out and they realize that before they start losing money, they need to pull. And that's what they do. They pull the game down and they're in the positive. Even though they still lost a lot of money. But the CEOs, not the developers, the CEOs are the ones that walk away with all the money, even if they lose their jobs. The people under them are the ones that lose their jobs.
Ever. But that's an issue that we're working on. That's something that the industry at large is working on.
Yeah, no, they're not working on it. They're working against it.
They are.
Has impact on players.
What
But
do you
clearly
mean?
that's something you need to factor in. The lifespan of a piece of software, whenever there's a service component, eventually services may be discontinued because the software may become obsolete over time.
That's your problem. That's your problem, not ours. We're tired of paying money for these games and then getting ripped off.
A lot of tools become obsolete 10 or 15 years down the line. They're no
What about
longer
like a hammer? A hammer doesn't become obsolete.
Yeah.
available,
Our
and that
drill
is
has
why we release a new version. And so we have version 2 and then version 3. But clearly, this is a far-reaching issue, and we're working on it.
This explains a lot. It really
What a
does.
joke. What a fucking joke.
Wow. How the fuck, like that's incredible. This was 6 minutes of bullshit. This probably the worst.
That's usually what happens with these CEOs. Whenever you ask them what the deal is, the only thing they really care about is their shareholders. That's it. They care about the people that put him there, the people that work in the chairs. around the table that look like evil Batman villains that are shareholders to the stock market. That's all they care about. They don't know anything about game development. They've never played a game in their life. These are rich people that, because of mommy and daddy's wealth, are in the position they're in because they know